Well, how about this week on As the World Turns? It was so story-packed and full of energy that even Meg couldn't ruin it, though she certainly did try.
I know. When the week started off with a desperate Meg pleading with Damien after his kiss with Lily, my skin was crawling from realizing how much more annoying Meg can be. A desperate Meg is not a pretty one.
I agree. I was very satisfied with Damien's solution to shut her up by sleeping with her.
Speaking of which, I think Papa Grimaldi and Lily's kiss was the hottest smooch on the show all year.
Probably so.
Too bad poor Faith had to walk in on it. Her tantrums and momentary hatred towards Lily was something else that's refreshing.
At least it seems like Faith would have her first storyline ever on the show. Between catching her mom kissing Damien and her father driving off the cliff, this has been some week for the young Miss Snyder.
Do you think Holden is really gone?
I don't see a body.
Good point.
Maybe it was time for John Hensley's turn to go on vacation. Either way, it looks like Holden's death will provide some entertaining fallout for the Snyder clan.
I know. Noelle Beck should submit her performance on Friday's episode for next year's Emmy consideration.
It's amazing what some actors can do with good writing. That scene between Luke and Lily, after she got a phone call from the Kentucky police, was superbly acted by both Noelle and Van Hansis.
I can't wait to see what happens next for this story. It has potential to trickle great arcs from the residents of Oakdale.
Yes. While the Snyders seem like they're going to mourning, it appears that the Stenbecks are reuniting. Care to comment?
If I don't, will you hit the back of my head with a wine bottle?
Huh. Seeing Barbara held prisoner in a limo by Emily afterwards was kinda fun.
I'm slowly coming around to the humor in that storyline. But how exactly does someone get locked inside a car? Can't they just push the buttons to get out?
Are you seriously trying to put logic into a show where they bring back a man who fell off a building to reveal he has another son?
So it seems like Henry and Paul are brothers. Looks like more fun material for Trent Dawson to work with.
Between him and Amnesia Paul, it would have been an awesome buddy comedy. Too bad Paul's memory loss was very short-term.
Short-term storytelling on As the World Turns? Never.
Well, one story they're definitely dragging out is Riley's hidden identity. It seems like the show is willing to stretch that story out until him and Allison becomes a couple only to break up when she finds out he's really Adam.
Is that your prediction?
Yes. It's just pretty obvious.
Then how obvious was Tom being a jerk this week? He was pretty much on a short temper all week with Adam and Allison.
What did you expect for someone whose first reaction to a defenseless person trying to explain herself is to press charges?
So you feel bad for Allison?
I kinda do. That poor girl have gone through so much lately. Why? You're not a fan?
Not at all. For the same reason you just named. The show is slowly turning her into a mini Meg.
You're wrong.
I don't know how to respond to that. At least her current damsel in distress is giving Bob and Kim so much needed screen time.
And thus giving Catherine Hayes and Don Hastings some opportunity to show everyone why backburning them is a mistake.
I know. I was shaking in my boots when Kim started lashing out at Allison before her heart attack.
I've always loved it when the vets comes onto the show and do more than just make cameos. For a while there, I was a little peeved when Kim was just sticking around the television studios.
With all the people in distress this week in Oakdale, I was glad to be treated one hilarious scene between Janet and Brad.
What do you mean?
2 words. Meatball continuity.
What is the deal with Janet and her meatballs?
I'm not sure, but apparently it's all she needs to be a television star.
Well, that gives her one more talent than most of the people on TV nowadays. Speaking of which, her mini breakdown at Metro, when she found out Terry let her have the job, was pretty entertaining.
It just goes with this week's theme of the show.
Which is?
Women in peril. It seems like most of the female characters this week fell victim to the woe is me storylines. Hopefully that'll change next week.
Well, it certainly doesn't look that way. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to next week?
Yes. Noah. Where the hell was he this week?
Probably with Mr. Fugly Scarf.
You bitch. Well, we're all out of time. We'll see you next week for another review of As the World Turns. Until then, go vote for Jake Silberman over at the Soap Hunks Adonis Awards.
You Nuki and your shameless promotional plugs.